Greetings and welcome to Danish Info News TV, your Danish English news updates. Let's look at today's headlines. As we know, this has been an election week. Eyes abroad on the Danish elections. Scam alert, Black Friday week. $200 million illegal cigarettes, Denmark's largest smuggling case. 62.4 million Danish kroner set aside to fight human trafficking. High levels of illegal medicine. Stay informed with the latest news. Subscribe to Danish Info News TV for the latest news updates. Let's dive into the first of our main story. Abroad, reports on Danish election. Looking at the website of the British newspaper The Guardian, the top story right now is about the Danish municipal elections. The article focuses particularly on the Social Democrats' potentially historic defeat in Copenhagen, where the party is said to lose the Lord Mayor position. After more than 100 years in power, the newspaper correspondent predicts that the Social Democrats are unlikely to reclaim their top position in the capital. However, this is only applicable if you access the European edition of the newspaper, which automatically directs Danish users. In contrast, British readers receive a top story from their nation. The Guardian is not the only international outlet covering Denmark. Politico and the French news agency AFP are also reporting on the Social Democrats' difficulties in Copenhagen. It is now clear that the Social Democrats will lose the Lord Mayor position in Copenhagen. Pernille Rosenkrantz-Theil, the party's candidate, has conceded the defeat and declared her exclusion from the negotiations. It was completely impossible. We did not participate in even half an hour of negotiations tonight. Other parties had decided they wanted something else, she said. Who? The identity of the new Lord Mayor of Copenhagen is still undecided. The only certainty is that it will not be Pernille Rosenkrantz-Theil. Warning against scams ahead of Black Friday. In the lead up to Black Friday and Christmas, unworthy online stores often increase their marketing on social media. Forbruger Europa and the Danish Competition and Consumer Authority, Konkurrence- og Forbrugerstyrelsen, are warning consumers to exercise caution and avoid becoming victim of fraud. To the next main story, from Monday 17, illegal cigarette factory case could become Denmark's largest. Authorities in Zealand have expanded the charges in a major illegal cigarette production case to include around 200 million cigarettes, potentially making it the largest such case in Danish history. In late January, police conducted raids at multiple locations in Svisbølle, Skælskør, Slagelse, and Galstrup. They suspected that an organized network was involved in importing tobacco, producing cigarettes, and selling them for significant profit. During the operation, police seized several machines. A total of 8 people have been charged, including one who is currently in custody. Police say the investigation is ongoing and more details will be provided soon. To another main story from Monday 17th, romance scams continue to cost millions. Romance scams, in which criminals create fake online relationships to deceive victims into sending money, continue to be a significant problem in Denmark, despite a decline in reported cases. From January to June of 2025, there were 278 cases, resulting in losses of 7.1 million Danish krona, down from 12.8 million Danish krona in the later half of 2024. Scammers often contact victims through social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, gradually gaining their trust before requesting money. Finance Denmark warns families to discuss the risks, protect personal information, and never send money to someone they haven't met in real life. In another main story from Monday, 62.4 million Danish krona is allocated to combat human trafficking. The Danish government, along with a broad political majority, has pledged 62.4 million Danish krona to strengthen efforts against human trafficking. According to a press release from the Ministry of Environment and Gender Equality. The funds will support the ongoing work on the Center Against Human Trafficking and a new pilot program run by Redden International, providing specialized legal assistance. Minister for Gender Equality Magnus Heunicke highlighted that most victims are women, especially foreign women who are exploited and threatened in prostitution and face highly vulnerable situations. The funding aims to ensure they continue to receive support, protection, and necessary assistance. This allocation aligns with an agreement dated October 24 of 2025, introducing a new model for basic funding for civil society organizations. In another main story, Tuesday 18, high levels of illegal medicine pose risk, warns EU fraud agency. The EU's anti-fraud agency, OLA, has raised concerns about the high levels of illegal and potentially harmful medicines circulating in the market. According to reports from Finance, Acting Director General Sala Sestemonian warned that this issue includes medications that are falsely claimed to be from reputable companies, such as Novo Nordisk, which could pose serious health risks to consumers. Now to some other news. We begin on Friday, November 14. The Copenhagen police warned that scammers are targeting the elderly with fake bank and police calls, particularly in Valby. Harassment of the mayor. A 37-year-old suspect has surrendered, and the mayor is currently under police protection. 13-year-old drunk arrested, found with cocaine, parents warned. 22-year-old fraud arrest. 3 scams against the elderly. Pepper spray was used on witnesses. A care home employee was sentenced for replacing morphine with water. The individual named S was found guilty of attempted murder with firearms and grenades involved in the case. Ghana's gang-free initiative, first time in 25 years. Law. A lawyer charged with 25 cases of exploiting vulnerable individuals, totaling over 10 million Danish krona. Traffic accidents. A 17-year-old was killed in Kolding. A man died near Køge, and a bus breakdown caused chaos. Attempted rape arrest. A 50-year-old man was apprehended in Aarhus. Government funding. 550 million Danish krona allocated for vulnerable children and adults. A 22-year-old was injured after being electrocuted while climbing a train in Korsør. Saturday, November 15. In a tragic accident, mother and child in crash. 17-year-old dies, mother hospitalized, 2-year-old slightly injured. Swedish teen arrested. A 17-year-old girl has been remanded for attempted murder in Herning. Pre-pregnant woman settlement. She received 8-month pay after being unlawfully fired. Police stop car theft. Officers arrested thieves who were stealing diesel after ramming their vehicle. To education, a nationwide study indicates that 9th grade boys underperform compared to girls in 94% of schools. Now to news from Sunday, November 16. In housing, historic low in rentals. Only 1.9% of rental units are vacant. Housing shortage. Copenhagen may face a deficit of 75,000 homes by 2060. A Rema 1000 is closed due to a mouse sighting in the T-Still store. Now to Monday, November 17. An 18-year-old was sentenced to 7 years for attempted murder and weapons possession. 2 men convicted, robbery and assault in Horsens, 1.5 to 2.5 years in prison. A 27-year-old fraudster gets 2 years sentence for scams totaling 3.8 million Danish krone. Nitrous oxide driving. A woman in her 20s has been charged with the offense and denies her guilt. Now to traffic accidents. A 66-year-old cyclist was seriously injured and a 29-year-old man died in a solo crash. Fire investigation. 20-year-old in custody for 3 fires in Maastrup. Ski gear theft. 100,000 Danish kroner stolen in Odda. Cyclist accidents in Copenhagen. 36 ambulances dispatched due to slippery roads. Meta sued. Dutch organization files class action of failing child protection. Cybersecurity education. A new university academy programs launched. Health campaign. Parents urged to review alcohol habits for teens. Tuesday, November 18. On the election day, voting opened over 1,300 polling stations for municipal regional elections. Nazism-linked assaults. 4 men sentenced to 3 to 3.5 years in Stockholm. The 28-year-old has withdrawn his confession to attempted murder and denies hiring girls to commit the crime in Herning. Businessman convicted, 3 years for laundering 24 million Danish kroner. Odense stabbings, 2 men injured outside NATO, no arrests. A 47-year-old man charged for sexual abuse of his stepdaughter since 2016. Cyclist killed. A 21-year-old woman hit by truck in Copenhagen. Woman found dead in a lake. 29-year-old, no crime suspected. Police reporting. Police will no longer disclose ethnicity, only nationality. Lars Løkke on UN resolution supports Denmark's backing of Trump's Gaza plan. Minor theft. A man stole only a juice during a break-in at a villa. Men are less likely to seek care. 21% less physical and 48% less mental health use than women. Website outages. Cloudflare issues affected Danish and international sites. Now to news from Wednesday, November 19. Norwegian footballer convicted. 14 days suspended sentence for sharing sexual video of minors. Fraudsters target elderly. Fake bank calls in East Jutland. Traveling criminals convicted. 4 Romanians sentenced and deported. Mother retains citizenship. A woman and 2 children are allowed to keep Danish citizenship. Mali travel advisory. Citizens urged to leave due to kidnapping risk. Bird flu. 6,300 turkeys killed in mid-Jutland. Ultra-processed food study linked to organ damage, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and depression. Now to some Danish business news, November 14th through 19th. Tuesday, November 18, Danish stocks drop. C25 index fall over 1.6% following a US market decline. Novo Nordisk cuts US prices. Wegovy and Ozempic are now $199 per month for the first 2 months and then $349 per month. Lundbeck overholding bid. Alchemist raises offer for Irish company Avadel. Lundbeck's bid is no longer superior. SMEs wait too long for municipal payments. Analysis of 209,000 invoices show delay beyond legal limits. Car dealers hit by cyber attack. IT company Docobis compromised, exposing sensitive customer data. Restaurant Mahalli bankruptcy. Lebanese restaurant in Copenhagen and Frederiksberg goes bankrupt for the second time. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.